Having the right tools makes a world of difference when you're working with any programming language or framework or tools. That's no different here with VS Code and the Angular CLI. We're going to go ahead and install an extension for VS Code by clicking on this square over here on the left. And then we're going to type in Angular Essentials up in this text box. Now you notice that I'm the author of this extension. It's actually an extension pack. And if we click on it, over here on the right, we can see at the bottom, it shows us what's installed with it. Angular snippets that'll basically allow you to create code by typing a couple characters. You don't have to remember any pesky syntax then. And the most important extension that it includes is the Angular language service. This basically makes VS Code light up with Angular. Really makes it a lot easier, and I definitely recommend this. I would not code Angular without it. And then there's a couple others in here which I've included for helping out with the editor config or TSLint or debugging. And then at the bottom, there's an icon theme. We'll take a look at what that does, and node npm. We'll take a look at that one as well. But first, let's install these. And you'll notice that it'll start saying install, and when each one's ready, it'll say reload. When the whole thing's ready, you'll see Angular Essentials says reload. It'll then reload VS Code. I'll click back up here on the upper left-hand icon called Explorer. And the first thing we'll notice is the icons next to the files. Notice that the README has an I inside of a blue circle. We have like the Node.js symbol next to the package JSON, and then a red Angular shield for Angular JSON. Opening up the source file, we can now see the different symbols next to those files as well. And then inside of app, we get different icons for modules, components, specs or tests, HTML, and CSS. That's coming from that icon theme in the extension pack. Another nice thing in here, if you go down to the package JSON, you'll notice that all of these are green. It's because we're getting warnings that none of these things are installed yet. Well, if we click in there, the npm node extension that we installed will now show us a little light bulb. And we can show fixes. We can install just animations or run npm install for everything, which we can do manually in the next section. But it's nice now that we can do this right from VS Code without having to go to the terminal if we don't want to. This is just the tip of the iceberg and what's inside of all these extensions. We'll check out these and many, many more tips in the upcoming sections.